Hi everyone, it's Mr. Simpson again, and we are continuing on with Asher and the Spirit Bird. And last time, guys, we got to chapter 24, which is page 156. Okay? Yeah? You got it? Are you ready? Alright, here we go. The source of the Ganges must be over there, whispered Javon, looking towards a line of people that snakes its way along one side of the hall. We get behind a man wearing nothing but a dhoti, the length of bright orange fabric wrapped around his waist and twisted through his legs to make a typical yogi's outfit. He must be freezing. Look at his hair, I say. It falls all the way down to the floor in long matted locks. I bet he's spent all his life visiting temples, says Javon, beaming from ear to ear. I wouldn't fancy bushing that row. I nudged Javon. Shh. There's a priest at the end of the queue, wearing orange flowing robes that skim the ground. He dips his fingers into a brass bowl, flicking holy water over the milling crowds. Blessings, blessings, he calls. Blessings to all the pilgrims who've made this journey. He hurls rose and marigold petals into the air. The holy Ganges honours her visitors. The sound of the roaring water becomes louder as we move closer to the front of the queue. I'm going to say prayers for my brother as well as my ma and pa, says Javon. I think he'd really like that. We link arms and together we approach the exact spot where the Ganges is born. Welcome, says the priest, giving us a smile that makes his eyes almost disappear. Where are your parents? We've travelled here together, says Javon, and we're on our way to Zandipur to find Asher's papa. Yes, I'm Asher, and this is Javon, and we're from More Manali, he says. So, Javon and Asher. The priest picks up a gleaming silver bowl, dips his fingers into it, and paints thick red dye between his eyebrows and then Javon's. Here's your red pilgrim's mark. Now everyone will know what you've done and how far you've been. Thank you. I bow my head, breathing deeply, and move further forward towards the source. At last, we're right at the very spot where the river Ganges springs from a rose-coloured rock and cascades into a huge marble-edged pool. There are pilgrims bathing right now below the opening, which is about 5 times as wide as my outstretched arms. The water splashes everywhere, sending fine lacy mist travelling up into the air. Look how fierce it is, I say, mesmerised. Wow, how do you think they built this temple all the way up here? Asked Javon. All I'd need is a boat and the water would take me straight to the whole of India. Don't be silly, I giggle. It'd take forever to get around the whole of India. Shall we do our offerings now? I placed the flower garland that Nahul's little sister Tunu gave me on the floor and take a space next to Javon beside the pool. I slipped my hand into the bundle and searched for the plait I cut off in Sonahar and carried all the way especially for this moment. I hold it coiled in my palm, ready to offer it up. I close my eyes and meditate on the offering for the holy river Ganges, the daughter of the mountain. I clasp my pendant to my chest and try to connect with the spirit of my Nana G and all the daughters in my family who've ever worn the necklace before me. I feel the ancient rhythms spanning across time, reaching out to me, as if I could almost touch them with my fingertips. Please, daughter of the mountain, I bring this offering to you as I have seen in my visions. I have come to honour you. Just as you came to earth to help us in the path, will you come to my aid now? Lead me to Papa. Please let my family be reunited. Give blessings to all those who have helped me. Above all, for my friend Javon. I especially thank you for saving his life. Without his help, I could have never made this journey. And for my dear Nanny G and all the daughters of my family. I place my feet at the edge of the pool, my toes curled around the smooth marble rim and jump in, releasing my plait into the icy water. The holy water covers me completely, swallowing me up in its swirls of cascading froth, my lungs gripped by iron fingers, the freezing shock sucking away my breath. The water parts as I burst back to the surface, just in time to see my dark plait of hair disappear through the channel and make its way outside where the holy river Ganges filled with snow melt and monsoon storms, will carry it down the mountain sides. Cold drops of water bead and drip over my head and onto my face. I'm standing shoulder deep in the pool, my teeth chattering. Javon, can you pass me the diva? Be careful not to let it go out. He takes the clay diva in the palm of his hand and slowly holds it towards me. I lean across to the garland, pluck a white flower, place it in the diva and float it in the pool, pressing my palms together to finish the ritual. It's your turn now. I lift myself out and sit on the edge, my breath rising and falling in time with my dancing heart. Javon gives a worried smile. Do you think my ma will be proud of me? Of course she will, Javon. She'll be amazed at what you've done, I promise. Here goes then. Bath time. Javon jumps into the pool, vanishing beneath the bubbling water for a few moments, then stands in the water, closes his eyes and says his prayers. As my thoughts drift to Papa in Sandipur, then to Ma back home, I feel warm, familiar hands on my shoulders. Asha, 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 my love. The thunder brought you for me to love. Do you remember how you asked me to sing this over and over again so you wouldn't have to go back to the dreams of past lives that woke you screaming in the middle of the night? I held you close and you traced their bumpy veins in my old wrinkled hands, telling me they were the rivers flowing down to the sea. I feel a blanket wrapped around me and everything is perfect, like the warmth of sunshine when your eyelids are closed. My pendant rocks. Nanny G? I look around, scanning the hall for the soft folds of her embroidered sari where I used to hide, her song still echoing in my head, but there's no one there. Javon gets out of the water and sits beside me. It's so cold, he says, shivering, tying his hair back into the top knot. Little strands have come loose and stick to his face. What's the matter? He asks. Something strange just happened. I think my Nana G was here. I stare back into the pool. Really? I blink and take a deep breath. Maybe everything will turn out all right after all. I pull an edge of blanket and tuck it around his shoulder. She put this on me. I was shivering. It was probably the priest. Why do you never believe me? It's not that I don't believe you. He tightens the blanket. We're just different. It would be boring if we were all the same, wouldn't it? He nudges me. I missed the science, remember? Yeah, exactly. I take out the mango stone I planted on our first night away from home and place it beside me as I listen to the pilgrims chanting. The golden glow of all the divets shimmering in the water makes everything look magical. I bend towards the pot, looking for any sign of a shoot, but the soil is still bare. Maybe the holy water will make you grow. I scoop a palmful of the cold Ganges water and sprinkle it over the soil, patting it with my fingers. There, grow, little mangrove, grow for Papa. I blink my eyes closed and carry on listening to the sounds of the temple, thinking about Nani G and all my ancestors, feeling the rhythm pulling me away into the spirit world. Javon touches my shoulder and I come back with a start. Shall we get changed? I'm frozen. I pick up the mango pot, nestling it between my hands and sense a warmth passing through the damp banana leaf. I give it a final sprinkle, wrinkling my nose in pleasure as the smell of the damp earth reminds me of early morning, walking barefoot with Papa on the grazing pastures. Javon pulls me to my feet. Hurry up, you look like you've been sleeping. I'm starving. I'm still in a daze as we walk towards the doorway and are greeted by smells of spiced dal and freshly baked naan. This way, calls a woman. Towels are on the side and then you can sit for food over there. Once we dry, we squeeze between the others and sit cross-legged, eating our food from shiny thathlia. My heart feels like it's full of singing birds that will burst into the room at any moment, filling the temple with happiness. I look up towards a small set of windows with carvings of Lord Shiva's story all around them at the very top of the large hall. Through one of them, I can see the tiniest slice of moon hanging in the darkness. It shines on the mango pot, bathing it in its silvered light. Javon, look! When we started our journey, the moon was full, and now it's starting out again, like us. That means we've been away from More Manly for 2 whole weeks, he replies, scooping rice into his mouth. It feels like months though. He shifts his gaze down to my side. So your mango stone sprouted then? What? I pick up the stone, which a moment ago had nothing growing from it, and lift it to the light. That's amazing. It must have been the holy water and all my praying that made it happen. It has a strong green shoot about the size of my finger and 2 tender fresh leaves either side. Plants store their energy, and then, when the conditions are right, they spring into life. Jivan stays, stuffing more food into his mouth. No, Jivan, it was the praying and the water and my Nana G that made it grow so quickly. I can feel a broad grin spreading across my face. It sprouted, and that's all that matters. I put the seedling back into the moonlight, its shadow stretching across the marble floor. We'll leave for Sandapur tomorrow, and just think, it's 4 whole weeks until Diwali, and probably only a few days before we find Papa and bring him home. That will be amazing, won't it? Says Jivan. Just imagine the look on your Ma's face when you appear back in More Manly with your Papa by your side. Alright guys, and we will pause it there at the end of an absolutely fantastic chapter. There's some absolutely excellent descriptive writing in that chapter that describes the beautiful Ganges and the temple that they're at. Well worth a revisit, a reread, just to note down some of the great words that stick out on the pages and really bring this sense of India to life, okay? I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and please check back and we'll read some more together. I hope you're enjoying this and I hope you're all well, okay? All right, I'll see you all soon, hopefully. All right, bye-bye.